Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sportshub Podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics, Plaza Lincoln and Plaza Cadillac. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us today. We are on with South Sumter football. We got head coach Ty Lawrence. You're also the new athletic director for South Sumter High School. And then we also have Jason Braswell, the center, on with us. We'll also be talking with Landen Sherman later on in our program. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I know we've been trying to do this for a couple of years, and we finally made it. So thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited to see what you guys are able to put together for the 2025 season. I know you guys are kind of in the off season right now, but things are going to be ramping up here shortly. Very exciting to know what's you're coming off of a 4-6 season. What does the 2025 season outlook look like for South Sumter?
Yeah, we're coming off a season that we weren't real happy with, but we're extremely excited about this coming season. We've got a great group of guys that know how to work hard, that are a very close-knit group, and they accept coaching really well. And so we're excited about this group. Our schedule's a little bit different than it was last year, and we're excited. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we're very excited for the team this year. Obviously, last year didn't make the playoffs last year, despite having one of the toughest schedules in Florida. You ended up finishing 4-6. That was probably one of the best teams that we've had in the region recently that didn't make the playoffs. But really looking forward to what you guys are able to put out this year. You actually had 5 players go D1 last year, which was really exciting. Malachi Boone's over at UCF, and Carrion Turner doing things up at Pittsburgh. Talk a little bit about those guys and kind of their transition this year and what kind of guys are going to step into those roles.
Yeah, those 5 guys are really good football players. We were blessed to have them, and they did great for us. So yeah, Malachi is at UCF, Jacarion's at Pitt, George is playing at Michigan State. Tom's at Texas A&M, and Ramel Parker is at Charleston Southern, and we're going to miss those guys. Those were 5 really good football players, How do you replace them? I don't know that you can, but we've got some young kids coming up in our program that we feel like are really good football players, not comparing them to those guys, but it's always been at South Sumter we reload and not rebuild, and so we're excited. We're ready to rock and roll with the season and get ready and get started. We take June off, and so this coming Monday will be our first day. June 30th will be our first day, and so our kids you can tell they're starting to get excited because us coaches are getting those texts like they're ready to go, and so it's everything's good in Bushnell.
Yeah, we got one of those players on with us right now, Jason Braswell, coming into your senior year, so that's super exciting. What did you learn in the past couple of seasons that you can take, and now you're a leader, you're going to be a captain this year for South Sumter High School, so that's got to mean a lot to you.
Yes, sir. I definitely had a different perspective on it as everybody else last year, as I was hurt most of the season. I tore my MCL. And the biggest thing I'm trying to take from last season is we've got to stay together. We really do. We can't have people playing for themselves. I think if we really play as a team, we're going to be able to fill those roles as you just previously talked about, and we're going to have another great season.
Coach, this guy has battled back from injury. He comes into 2025 as a leader, a student leader, not just on the field, but off the field as well. He's got a 4.8 GPA.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely fantastic. We're going to be talking to Landen later on, who's off camera, but he's going to be coming on too. He's the quarterback, also with a high GPA as well, which we'll be talking. But you focus on academics a ton at South Sumter High School, and that's got to mean a lot to have a guy with that kind of ability on and off the field.
Yeah, we do. We keep track of our kids' grades because we want them to go on, whether it's to college, whether it's to vocational school. We want them to get a good education, and so those 5 kids we talked about, they all could have 4 of them graduated early, And Malachi could have graduated early, but chose to stay and play baseball, which we're happy with. You know, it's such a good baseball.
Had a great
player.
season.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good athlete. But but Braswell's been a 3-year starter for us, and just you know, if you draw up a blueprint of how you want your kid to be, it'd be Jason Braswell. High academics, great work ethic, team guy, tough. You know, just he did have the injury last year, which kind of, you know, losing your center is pretty tough, and so but he's 100% now, and he's ready to have a great season, you know.
Yeah, for people who don't know, the center is the guy who snaps the ball to the quarterback. And how did you get into playing center? Like, did you always play center, or did you play different positions, guard, tackle? How did you get into playing center?
So whenever I first started football years ago in Wolfpack, Tiny Mites, Coach O looked at me. I don't know why, but he decided to throw me in the center. And ever since, all coming up through all of Wolfpack, middle school, and so far in high school, I've been snapping to Landen and some of our other starting quarterbacks, and it's just I've done it my whole life.
And you're a 4-year starter too, so you've dealt with different quarterbacks. I remember when I was playing, going and dealing with different quarterbacks. It was a challenge sometimes to learn what guys liked under center, or whether you're in the shotgun formation. It's a little bit different these days, but you've played with guys like Wes Ammons, I believe, and then Blaine Walker last year was one of the guys last year, and then Landon this year is going to be your starting quarterback, which is super exciting, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season. What's that been like, dealing with the different kind of guys every single year that come through South Sumter?
It's definitely different. Everybody has their own technique. It feels different from each quarterback. Like my freshman year, Ian, he would definitely make you know where his hands are. He hated getting hit in the finger. And Will and Blaine had a more laid back, and it's just preference between all the quarterbacks.
Now that you're coming into your senior year, Jason, what is your favorite memory that you've shared on the football field with your teammates?
Definitely my freshman year football camp. Having that experience, being in the same cabin as Brock Kinley, it was definitely an experience, and that's definitely been one of my absolute favorites.
Coach, you encourage your guys to go to camps during the off season as well, and you come in prepared every single year. You guys just come in and you hit the ground running. Once July comes on, it's just like they never left. What is the secret to that kind of success?
Oh, you know, I don't know. Most of these kids been playing through our Pop Warner program, through our middle school program. I mean, what people don't realize is our base plays, you can take a 8-year-old kid in our Pop Warner program and put him in the varsity huddle and run right 24. You can run right 2C. So the kids doing that year after year after year, that's nothing I established, you know, that's just over time with Coach Sherman and stuff. So we're really proud of that. As far as our kids going to camps and stuff, I think now more than ever, with the way the recruiting is and the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff, it's more important now than ever for our kids that want to go play at the next level get an opportunity to go to these college camps. Because when I played, you know, you could go to the University of Florida camp. It would be 3 or 4 days long. It would be $400. You know, the way the camps are now is you go to camp for 2 hours and it costs $25, $40, something like that. And so you can go to a lot more places and be seen. And now it's getting to where if University of Florida has a camp, there's 10 to 12 other colleges at that camp too. So just to be seen more, I think that's highly important with being recruited today more than it ever has been. And so by us taking June off, it allows our kids to to go to those camps.
Yeah, important to let kids be kids too during the
absolutely
during the summertime.
Absolutely, we are firm believers in letting our kids be kids. And when we started this, taking June off years and years ago, it was more of, hey, our baseball team would play in June, our basketball team. Because at South Sumter, we have to share our athletes, right, for our programs to be successful. And so it allows the basketball coach to be able to, because most of our basketball team's football players too, right? And so it allows our basketball coach time with our kids in June. And then when July comes, it's football time, And so we feel that's very important for our programs to be successful at South Sumter.
Jason, what's it been like to represent the Raiders the last 4 years as well? Because you came up through the system as well. You came through the young Pop Warner leagues as well. What has it been like to play for South Sumter and represent this school with so much history behind it?
You definitely get a different perspective on it coming up through the programs that we have. And whenever you get into high school, you really feel as if you have a weight on your shoulder, thinking about all the history we've had, all the great seasons, great teams before you. It's just trying to pick up and fill their roles.
Well, is there any player that you played with that really had an impact for you? Maybe it was advice or something that they were able to help you with, because there's so many players that have come through the last couple of years that have been really great. We mentioned the 5 that went D1 last year, but are there any players specifically that you've looked up to?
My sophomore season, I started next to James Campbell. He was my favorite offensive lineman I played with. I always looked up to him, and since I've played with him, it was unfortunate to not be able to play for him last year, but I'm really hoping to help make him proud this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about coming into your season. What are you most looking forward to in 2025?
I'm really most looking forward to building a better relationship with the rest of the team, everybody, and really not trying to compare us to other teams, but trying to play for ourselves and like ourselves as a team and build a better connection with everybody.
What's it been like playing under Coach Ty Lawrence and the entire program as well? Because he's coming into, I believe this is your 9th or 10th year at South Sumter.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Something like that. What's it been like learning under these guys?
It's been awesome. I couldn't imagine being in a different program under a different head coach.
When you hear that, there's so many guys that come through the South Sumter program. It's such a family atmosphere, especially when you go to the games and you see the former people that come out and into the grandstands, and it's just an amazing atmosphere to play in. It's really an old school type atmosphere when you come out to South Sumter. Now coming into, I believe, your 9th or 10th year. Is it your 10th year? I believe.
I started in 2016.
Okay, so 9th year, and the next year is going to be 10 years here. You took over for the legendary Coach Sherman. What's it been like the last couple of years just building this program and continuing on Coach Sherman's legacy?
I don't know. I really haven't thought about it, but to me, South Sumter High School is the best job in the state of Florida. We're always going to have kids that work hard. We're going to have tough kids. We're going to have great community support. It doesn't matter if it's a home game or an away game. We probably have the biggest crowd. Other than we went to Niceville last year. There was 12,000 people there, and so that was quite an experience. But other than Niceville, we usually have the biggest crowd, whether it's a home game or away game. So our community support is just crazy. And our old players, alumni players, and Kyle, you've been to our games. The thing that I get the most joy out of is when the old players come back, right? And so they all come down to our sideline, and it's hectic down there, right? Yeah. And so, but I wouldn't have it any other way. If those guys went through our program, I want them on our sideline, and because they're still a big part of our program, mm-hmm. and so just keeping that tradition alive. Another example is Keanu's going to have his camp here next month, and we'll have 40 alumni that come back and help. I mean, they don't live in the area. Some of them don't even live in the area. Some are going to fly in just for Keanu's camp, right? So having that tradition really means a lot to us.
Keanu Neal, former NFL player. If you don't know, he played with the Atlanta Falcons in the made it to a Super Bowl. What was it like to learn under a guy like that as well, or see his success? Is that something that you take with you?
It's definitely a great opportunity, being able to have other people to show that learning from these great coaches, you can really make it places, and it's really awesome to think about.
That football camp is really good every single year. If you're out there, definitely think about joining the Keanu Neal football camp. It's always a good time, Coach.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Well, Jason, I want to wish you the best of luck on your season. Thanks for coming on, letting us learn a little bit more about you, and good luck this year playing with Landen. We're going to have him on next. And any other advice that you have for young guys getting into the sport?
If you really love it, just don't give up. You're going to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through challenges, through everything. Just don't give up if you truly love it.
Well said. That's going to take us into our first break. We'll be right back here on the Sports Hub.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665. Hey
everybody, we are back here on the Sportshub Podcast talking with South Sumter High School football. Right now we got Landen Sherman on with us, the quarterback for 2025. Landen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Landen, we're looking forward to the 2025 season. You're going to be coming in as the quarterback one on the team. You've been learning under some of the best quarterbacks that have come through South Sumter. You learned under Ian Finkley. I mean, other guys that have come through, Wes Ammons, Blaine Walker last year. Explain to us learning under those guys and what you've taken really into the 2025 season.
I mean, I've taken a lot. The biggest thing I've learned is just being patient. You know, your time will come. Everybody's time comes different. Just stay patient, keep working.
What does this guy mean to the team? Because he comes in, obviously, high GPA. You got 4.85 GPA. Brings a lot of experience to the team as well. What does he bring into the team in 2025?
Landon's a great leader. He's a kid who he's really a coach's kid, you know, with his granddad, and kind of was raised in our system, you know, and he knows our playbook as good as any coach does, right? And so he's a kid who understands our system as far as we don't want our quarterbacks to have turnovers. We don't want interceptions. We don't want fumbled snaps. We want the ball handed off to the right person, you know. And so Landen can do all those things extremely well. And but Landen has worked hard at this. This is not something that he hasn't worked for, and he's got a tremendous work ethic, and we're excited what he can do this year.
You obviously have a very famous name in Sumter County, a grandson of Inman Sherman. What was it like to watch him when you were a small kid? And did you have just dreams of playing on that field one day? Yeah,
for sure. Like, I have pictures still of me in a number 7 South Sumter jersey when I was like 7 years old, just standing underneath the scoreboard with him. So it means a lot. When
you go out there, well, you already played in the spring game against us. What was it? South Lake, I believe, against Brad Lord's team down there. What was it like to go out there as a starting quarterback?
It meant the world. Just going out and in front of your hometown and just going out there and performing.
What makes you such a good student, too? Because you have a 4.85 GPA. We just talked as well to Jason Braswell, named co-team captain as well. You're a team captain this season. What makes you such a great student?
Just taking the time to go out and study, doing your homework, taking high advanced classes like AP classes, ACE classes, and just making school, you're a student before athlete, and making sure that you're putting student before the athlete.
What are you most looking forward to in the 2025 season as we come in here?
I'm looking forward to a lot of it, just spending the last year with the guys that I've grown up playing with and just shocking the state.
What's it meant to, because you've played under the South Sumter system for many, many years. You come in as a senior. This is your last year putting on that Raider jersey. Of course, tradition never graduates at the school, but it's got to mean something to you coming into your senior year and representing the Raiders one final time.
Yes, sir, for sure. Just going up through the Pop Warner program, just like Jason. Jason has been my center since 6U or 8U. So, we've been with each other the whole time, along with some other kids on our team as well. But I've worn the Raider jersey my whole life, and getting to wear it one last time and having fun.
Yeah, and hopefully going on to college. Do you have any college aspirations, I would imagine?
Yes, sir. I want to go play college football.
Yeah, that would be. You've had a couple of recent quarterbacks go on and play college football. I think Ian Finkley right now doing some good things. Where's Ian at?
Ian right now was just finished school at a school in Georgia, and he is in the process now of looking for a home. He's going to a few different camps, and hopefully he'll get picked up somewhere. And, just finished his junior college season this past year, and so he's looking.
I did just want to touch on as well former quarterback and Garhett Miller, who tragically passed away just a couple of months ago. Garhett meant a lot to the South Sumter community. Coach, can you just talk a little bit about Garhett Miller? He was a quarterbacks coach, of course, for you guys.
So Garhett was not a kid that grew up in our system. He started at South Sumter High School as a ninth grader, and was our starting quarterback on our JV team. And that was the year we went 0-9 that year. But about game 4, we started 15 ninth graders, and with a very, very tough schedule. And so Garhett became our quarterback as a ninth grader on the varsity team about week 4, week 5, and never gave up that starting position throughout his high school career. Was a tough kid. He learned our system. He performed our system. He just did everything at a high level. He had great coaches before he got to us. He had really, really good mechanics, and his dad Gary had a big influence with his mechanics and stuff as a kid growing up, and was able to go to Ava Maria College down South Florida, and but then wanted to get into coaching, and started coaching with us. And he was actually coaching kids that he actually had played with, right? Because he wasn't a really old kid, and so he had to learn how to deal with that. But the biggest thing is, he's like, how do I become a better coach, right? And a lot of people think, you need to get it better with the X's and the O's, and that's about as far away from coaching as it is. That when you are a good coach, that means you have great relationships with your kids, right? And Coach Miller would call his quarterbacks every night on the way home and kind of give them a rundown of practice that day. This is what you did good, this is what you did bad, this is what we're going to work on tomorrow. And he would be with his quarterbacks 7 days a week, right? And they develop a big bond. So Garrett did all those things behind the scenes that nobody saw, right? And so he was a great coach. We're going to miss him, but he was a great coach.
Garrett was an amazing person. Landen, how did he impact you?
So many ways. whenever I was in Wolfpack and then in middle school, I got to watch Garrett play. I mean, I used to train with him, with a coach named Drew Phillips down in Clearwater, Florida. We used to go down and train. He used to be in high school. I used to be in Pop Warner. And then my freshman year, he decided to come back to coach. And for the past two to 3 years, I mean, it's just been, I mean, he was one of my best friends. I mean, talked every day, every week, working out and everything. I mean, it was just something like really special that I could look back on and say, wow, he did a lot for me. And I mean, he's still, throughout this season, I'm still going to use some of the stuff that he taught me and just going out and playing for him.
The biggest thing that you learned from him?
The biggest thing I learned from Garrett was just staying calm. You know, and there's some moments during a game, some moments during life where you want to tense up and like you want to quit, you know, you want to do all these different things, but to just stay calm and just trust the process is just the biggest thing that he ever taught me.
If you could describe Garrett, how would you describe him?
Compassionate and loving. You know, he loved everybody. There was not a kid on our team that did not like him, and there was not a kid on the team that he didn't like. So, I mean, just that bond, that caringness that he had towards each and every one of us.
Are there any plans to honor him during the season?
Yeah, we got actually the senior class is going to put up a sign for him there, the entrance to our field, and then we've got something for the helmet.
Decal for the helmet as well. Yeah. Well, coming into the 2025 season, obviously a ton to play for you guys coming off of the 4-6 season. You have so much potential this season. A lot of young guys, a lot of guys coming into the system. What's it going to be like playing behind Jason too? Because you guys have a lot of chemistry as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, it's the last time we're going to be able to play for each other, but I mean, he makes it easy. So I never have to worry about a bad snap. Never have to worry about not getting my hands to get the ball or anything. Because, I mean, I know that we're going to get it every time.
What are you interested in studying in college as well? Because you're a senior coming into your year. Is there anything that interests you?
Sports management. I mean, I want to come back and be a coach for a program one day. And then if that doesn't work out, just business and psychology, getting a major there.
He's a smart guy, Coach. I think it's going to work out for him either way.
I mean, I'm going to tell you this. The more I do this, I believe head coaches should have a psychology degree. I think I'd make a better coach because you think dealing with people every day. But Landen would be a great coach, you know, and hopefully one day he'll come back and coach South Sumter. We would love to have him back. And again, he knows our system. I mean, I was sitting here thinking about it. These two guys were actually, and another senior captain of ours, Bubba Boone, were my three ball boys when they were little kids, right? So they've always been around the program, and so it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, definitely cool to have guys come back and contribute to the program. And you look at Coach Lawrence as well, started obviously as the head coach, and now he's the athletic director of the school as well. That's got to be a little bit inspiring for you.
Yes, sir. He's going to do a great job. He's going to put us in the best spot for everything. You're never going to have to worry about anything in the sports side or anything.
Look a little tickled, Coach.
I don't know. I just don't want to screw up. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just want all of our programs to be successful at South Sumter. You know, from baseball to softball to girls basketball, boys basketball, you know, soccer, all of our sports, I want to see be extremely successful, right? And if I can help with that, I will. And I just don't want to screw anything up. And so hopefully if I can do, you know, Emmon was our AD for so long, and then now we had Coach Heilman did it for the last 9 years. Mm-hmm. And we haven't gotten trouble, you know. They're like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't miss paperwork, you know, miss something on paperwork, because it's a lot. And you know, I just don't want to be the guy that screws up, you know. And so, but I'll work hard at it, and try to put our school in the best position that we can, you know, and see what happens.
Sky's the limit for you.
Yeah.
Is there a piece of advice that Coach Heilman gave to you as he departed South Sumter?
I think he threw me the keys and said, "Don't screw this up." No, I don't. No, I was able to spend a lot of time with him there at the end, trying to teach me how to do certain things, and hopefully I took good enough notes. And but I do know this, and this deals with anything with our athletics at our school. I can always call old guys for football and stuff, But I can always call Coach Heilman or Coach Sherman about an AD question, and they're just a phone call away. I mean, they still live in Bushnell, and they're not going anywhere. And I know they'll help me however they can, So I've got two people I can call that I know will be extremely helpful.
Landen, what describes a successful year for you? What would be successful in your eyes?
Just winning and just continuing to build a bond with each and every teammate. I mean, yeah, the personal stats and stuff, that goes a long way, but I feel like last year's team, that's the biggest thing I learned was we were played for ourselves. We wanted the best for us. We didn't want the best for our team. So focusing each and every week on winning the game, winning as a unit and together, would be great for this season.
Would you echo those sentiments, Coach? What's a successful season look like for South Sumter in 2025?
Just getting our kids to play at a high level. Again, 4-6 sounds bad for last season.
It's the best 4-6 team I've seen in this area in a long time. People
would have been scared if we'd have made the playoffs, right? And in those 6 games, 5 of those 6 games we were less than a touchdown away, and caught some bad breaks, and whether those were selfish penalties or things, I don't know, but we were extremely, extremely close to being really, really good.
Yeah,
and that falls on me, and it's my fault, and so we've done a lot of work this off season to fix those things, and we don't like being 4-6. I can tell you that. Our community doesn't like being 4-6, and I'm glad our community is that way. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they care. I'm glad that they're not happy with that, because I'm not either. And so we want to win, but we want to do it the right way. We want to do it with great sportsmanship, and I'm excited. I'm so excited about this come season, just because I know these kids, and we'll see what happens by the end of the season.
We're going to take one final break here on the Sports Hub. When we come back, we'll wrap up next with South Sumter football.
Plaza Cadillac in Leesburg invites you to experience our most iconic lineup ever.
Lisa Lyric, the best-selling luxury EV in the U.S. for only $429 per month. Or choose APR as low as 4.4% and savings of $2,000 on our 3-row XT6 or remaining 24 XT5s.
Because at Plaza Cadillac, our drive to be the best starts with you.
Highway 441 across from the Leesburg Airport.
Hey everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub with South Sumter football. We got Landen Sherman with us and Ty Lawrence, the head coach of the Raider program. Landen, you've had so many memories in your career at South Sumter High School. What are some of your favorite memories?
Some of them are definitely the Pop Warner game nights, where we bring the Pop Warner team in and they get to sit in the back of the end zone and watch us play. I feel like that's really special because, I was in those shoes before, just sitting in the end zone watching the Raiders play. That's definitely one of my best memories, is just being on the field and just looking in the end zone, seeing hundreds of kids standing there supporting you.
And it's a great support system at South Sumter as well, because you do have the youth system that these kids learn in, they come through, and you develop these players very well over the course of 6, 7, 8 years that they're in the system, some even longer. What is it like to have that support system with these players already trained by the time they kind of get to the high school level?
Yeah, it's extremely helpful. Most of those coaches that are in our Pop Warner program actually are ex-players of ours, right? And so they have a lot of pride for the red and black, so that means a lot. And then when our kids get to the middle school, Coach Kinley, John Kinley, has been our middle school coach for, I don't know, probably right at 30 years. And so I don't know, 25 or 30 years. He's been the head coach a long time there, and has been extremely, extremely successful, right? And so, our Pop Warner kids get to him. He gets them coached up even more, and then he sends them to us. And so, it's a system that works extremely well, and the middle school team, they work out at the high school in the off season,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're around those middle school kids during the off season and kind of get to know them. I mean, our coaches knew Landen and Braswell before they were actually students at our school. So having that in our system is, again, when I talk about coaching, the relationships just mean so much. You can get so much more out of a kid if you have that really, really good relationship with that player. And so we've been extremely lucky to have this system that we've had for so many years, and just try to keep building on it each and every single year.
Last question I have for you, Landen. One of the things that the mottos at South Sumter is tradition never graduates. What does that motto mean to you?
It mean because of my grandpa, I've learned the tradition my whole life, just carrying it on, and not the team is the biggest thing, developing, working hard as a team, the team aspect of everything, in the off season, the classroom, just being a team and trusting and having each other's back, and then carrying it on for the rest of your life, and then passing it down to the younger kids is just the biggest thing that means to me.
So well said, Coach.
Yeah. We had an old principal, Bob Edwards, was a guy from Kentucky, and so years ago, Mr. Edwards brought that to South Sumter, and somehow it just, I don't know, we just started using it and it exploded, and we've been using it ever since. And I've got friends around the state that'll make fun of me for it, but it means exactly what it says. Tradition never graduates, and these guys can always come back and feel like they're still part of the program.
Absolutely. Well said. And we just want to wish you guys the best of luck in the 2025 season. Thank you guys for coming on. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Kyle, for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap things up here on the Sports Hub. I want to thank our partners, Plaza Cadillac, Plaza Lincoln, and UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.